On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
Role in the marriage institution, it has unraveled, kind of like Anton was saying, the structure of it as to how it's applied today, because remotely the same. So.
Okay. All right. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Going once. Go ahead.
Now I got final thoughts. The women on this panel, y'all done broke my scoreboard. So this is the first time. YouTube, you took an L today. This was a constructive conversation, and I respect it and I love it. If I had the applause on my broadcast, I would have. Bruce, you got a round of applause? Look at that. You a dumbass nigga. No,
come on, Bruce.
Tonight was a really constructive conversation. So, but it's not gonna. I think somebody said the voting base is mostly women. It's not gonna take men. If women saying they tired of seeing these destructive communities, these destructive tribes, and these destructive relationships, why don't y'all lobby for it? Because if we do it, you know what we is? We're a bunch of whining men.
A bunch of Andrew Tates.
Y'all a bunch of concerned women.
It's too early, but that's okay. My gym workout was phenomenal. Before I went home, I decided to stop over at my mother's house. I haven't seen my mother in 2 months. I know she's going to be very surprised to see me. I can't wait. What the? I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The first thing I noticed was this person's skin. What is going on? Uncomplicated, untreated skin? Who is this guy? I had to take a step back, but then I realized it was my brother. But look at his skin. Have you guys ever seen anything like that? I had to take a closer look and figure out what was going on. Best believe I crept up on him. Peep this. I'm still looking at his skin, trying to figure out how did we get here. I could do nothing but shake my head. He could definitely use my help. I had to get to the bottom of this. He definitely needed some game about his skin. I'm just staring at it, like looking at it. Come on, bro. I knew what to do. I had to reach in my bag and get that Tiege Hanley. Uncomplicated skincare for men. Bro, this is why I'm excited to have Tiege Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. They have helped me start and maintain my skincare routine by making the entire process uncomplicated. Honestly, it's the best skincare system for guys like you and me. I recommend you start with their level 1 system, which comes with all the basics. A daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and the grime on your skin, a 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells, an AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. My brother was so excited. My favorite part about Tiege Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really make the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin easy. Shout out to Tiege Hanley. And because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click the first link in the description, and not only will you get Tiege Hanley for the best possible price, but they'll also give you a free gift with your first box. Click that link and get started today for just $30. Feel the Tiege. Let the Tiege force be with you.
Hello? Is my mic working? Hello? Damn,
I think that marriage is beneficial in a lot of ways. I just think that it's a difference between being married and being successfully married. And I don't think that people have the blueprint of what that looks like. I'm an advocate for being successfully married, but my caveat is that I don't force anybody to do so. If that's the path that you want to take, I want to teach you and give you the insight on what it takes in order to be that way. Because it's one thing to just be in a relationship and like in which y'all passing like ships in the night, and it's a sexless marriage. Y'all don't really understand the benefits that come along with being married. And it's another thing, to just absolve yourself from it altogether because you operate not at duress. right? And I think that people just don't understand. First of all, you got to look at it from a business perspective if you're a man. And then secondly, I think that the love aspect of it comes with it, but that's a benefit that comes along with women. The problem today is that the dynamics and the requirements of what marriage is completely different, because most people are not looking to be married. They're looking for a partner, right? They're looking for somebody that they can divide household expenses and then have experiences with. That's a difference between, that's a different thing than being traditionally married and the way that people from yesteryear tried to frame it. The requirements was different, right? What you needed women for and what you needed men for was completely different, right? Even what you need in order to even be able to survive is completely different. So we just need to rethink it in the same way that we rethink every single thing that happens in society. We don't stay the same when it comes to the cars that we drive and the requirements to be able to manufacture them. We don't stay the same when it comes to technology we use in order to market ourselves effectively to these different companies. We don't send resumes anymore, right? We do things differently, but we don't want to change with the times, because we continuously looking at yesteryear and saying, but what about how they did it and why they stand together? The dynamics has changed. People need to rethink what marriage means. And every single situation is different depending on your circumstances. If you're 50, right, it's going to be a completely different circumstance if you're a man than if you're a woman. If you're 20 and y'all both getting married at the same time, there's benefits that come along with it. If y'all trying to have kids, for example, right, there's rooms that I could not have gotten in that my wife have gotten me in that has allowed for me to do business with some of the husbands that I wind up still do business with today, 10 years later, right? There's a lot of caveats and benefits that come along with marriage, but you have to first define what it is that you're trying to be successful at, what life looks like to you, how many kids that you're trying to have, at what point do you want to get married? And it's so many different factors. And I think that there's benefits to marriage, but we first have to figure out who it is that's trying to get married, why you trying to do it, and at what point in your life do you see yourself doing so? And so I think that there is benefits. We just have to ask the right questions, and we have to stop. We have to divest ourselves from just the traditional way of how we see marriage and take into consideration every single circumstance.
And the temporary solution I would propose, and I often propose, is similar to what real Siobhan had stated. Sign and notarize prenuptial agreement. And prenuptial agreement don't always mean anything about money. You can put anything in there if you want. So that's what I would do until things change, because like everybody said, technology has surpassed the way that the essence of marriage. You know what I'm saying? It's not caught up. So that's my advice I would give to my sons out there.
Yeah, and I think that having a prenup too, like there's so many different things, that you can add in the prenup. And I think that so many people shy away from it, but it doesn't mean, oh, this is going to ruin your life or you're not going to get anything or whatever. But I mean, most people would essentially think you come in with what you come in with and you leave with what you leave with. But essentially you don't want to leave. But I mean, it's good to have something on paper to say, like, there's clarity for him and there's clarity for her. And to also answer the question too, I really do think that marriage is becoming a outdated concept, and because people aren't getting married to be married forever, they're getting married for the wedding. So I personally don't really want a wedding. I want the dress, but I don't want the wedding. And I've dreamed about a wedding forever. I remember just like kind of doodling it out and like what I want, but I don't want that anymore. I think it's too much money. I would feel bad because I know what I like and I know I would spend everything. So
we also got to take into consideration that marriage is more beneficial to women than it is for men. Let's be clear about that. Y'all need us. We don't need you.
Also, if you're military, there's some huge benefits.
It's almost like it's a nice to have. We gonna win regardless, most guys, or guys that's of a certain ilk. But for the women that men truly want, y'all need us. We don't need y'all. It's just a fact.
All right. Anybody else want to give final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree with Pearl with regard to the legal aspect of it. The way I sort of approach things now is with the mentality that my desire is more so to assure the man of my intentions and devotion, right? So if he comes to me and he says, okay, no marriage, but here's all the legal ways that I'm arranging this union, then yeah, I'm going to sign whatever that is, right? So I do think that the current application of the marriage institution, and I don't know a ton of it detail wise, but of course I'm obviously familiar with like the leverage shift. And I do think the application of it is somewhat outdated in the sense that, again, I mean, it really does de incentivize men from claiming and committing to women because of that leverage. Like biologically, as we've evolved, right? Men are the biological controller. They have more control, period, like physically and everything, right, in society. And when we've shifted that control in the marriage institution, it has unraveled, you know, kind of like Anton was saying, the structure of it as to how it's applied today, because remotely the same. So
Okay. All right. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Going once. Go ahead.
Now I got final thoughts. The women on this panel, y'all done broke my scoreboard. So this is the first time. YouTube, you took an L today. This was a constructive conversation, and I respect it and I love it. If I had the applause on my broadcast, I would have. Bruce, you got a round of applause. Look at that. You a dumbass nigga. No,
Come on, Bruce.
Tonight was a really constructive conversation.